Hey everybody, you ready to unlock some serious personal growth potential? We're diving deep into personal development 9 skills, tips, and examples today. And trust me, this isn't just some fluffy self-help stuff. This is about giving you like actual tools
hmm
to create a more fulfilling life.
Yeah, absolutely. We're talking real strategies, not just like feel-good theories. This whole deep dive is about turning information into action.
Okay, so the source really emphasizes this idea that personal development is like hitting the upgrade button for your entire life. And I get it, sometimes personal development sounds kind of vague, right? But think about it. It's not just about, climbing the career ladder
Here,
or making tons
and
of money.
it's about those internal shifts
Yeah.
that make you feel more confident,
Yeah.
more resilient, and like genuinely happy with who you are. It's about cultivating those inner strengths
Yeah.
that help you navigate any challenge that comes your way.
Right. It's like leveling up your inner game so you can win at the outer game of life. Speaking of leveling up, this source dives into some crucial skills. For personal growth, two that really grabbed my attention were communication and time management. You know the classics, but here's the thing, they're classics for a reason.
Exactly. They're foundational. And if you really master these skills, they become almost like superpowers. Think about it. Communication is about so much more
Hmm.
than just talking. It's about understanding different communication styles,
Hmm.
reading between the lines, and even using your body language effectively.
Yeah, like becoming a communication ninja and
Yeah,
time management. I used to think it was just about being organized
Yeah.
and like sticking to a schedule. But it's really about so much more than that, isn't it?
It is. It's about understanding your own energy flows,
Yeah.
prioritizing tasks strategically, and using tools
Mm-hmm.
like the Eisenhower Matrix to make sure you're focusing on what truly matters.
The Eisenhower Matrix. Okay, now you've got me intrigued. Tell me more about that.
Yeah.
Well, imagine you could categorize all your tasks based on urgency and importance. The Eisenhower Matrix helps you do just that. It's a way to visually map out your to-do list so you can see what needs immediate attention, what can be delegated, and what can be eliminated altogether.
That's brilliant. I can see how that would be a game changer for actually getting things done and avoiding burnout. And this reminds me of something the source mentions about creating a personal development plan. It's like once you've got these superpower skills down, you need a roadmap to actually put
Right.
them into action.
Absolutely. A personal development plan helps you set specific goals, identify the skills you need to develop, and track your progress. Think of it as your personalized blueprint for growth.
So it's not just about saying, I want to be better at communication. It's about getting laser focused. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I want to improve my active listening skills so I can have more meaningful conversations with my partner.
Exactly. And that specificity is key because when you have a clear target, it's much easier to stay motivated and make
Mhm.
progress.
That makes total sense. And it ties into what the source says about consistency being crucial. It's like personal development isn't about some quick fix. It's about making small, consistent efforts over time. It's about building those positive habits that compound into massive results.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. And just like with training for a marathon, you need to pace yourself. Celebrate those small wins
Yeah.
and keep showing up, even when you don't feel like it.
This reminds me of a time when I was trying to learn a new language.
Oh, tell me about it. Language learning is a perfect example of how consistency pays off.
Right. I was so gung-ho at first, but then life got in the way, and I'd go weeks without practicing. But then I realized that even just 10 minutes a day, consistently, made a huge difference. It was those small, consistent efforts that helped me actually start to see progress and feel motivated to keep going.
And that's a great example of how even small actions, when done consistently, can lead to significant personal growth.
Okay, so we've talked about communication and time management as superpower skills, and we've touched on the importance of a personal development plan and consistency. But let's get real here. We all know that life throws curveballs. So how do we actually deal with setbacks and challenges when they inevitably pop up?
Well, one of the most powerful things you can do is learn to reframe failure. Instead of seeing setbacks as signs that you're not good enough, view them as opportunities for learning and growth,
Easier said than done, right?
of course.
Yeah.
But the source offers some really practical tips for building resilience.
Like what? Give me the good stuff.
One thing that emphasizes is the power of analyzing your failures.
Okay, so not just wallowing in self-pity.
Definitely not. It's about asking yourself, okay, what went wrong?
Mhm.
What could I have done differently?
Mm-hmm.
And what can I learn from this experience?
So it's like turning those failures into valuable data points that can inform your future decisions and actions.
Exactly. And, this ties back to communication skills, too. Because sometimes the best way to learn from a failure is to seek feedback from others.
Ooh, that's a good point. So instead of beating yourself up, you reach out to someone you trust and say, hey, I really messed this up. Can you give me some honest feedback on what I could do better next time?
Exactly. And you know, the source also talks about the power of mentorship and networking as key tools for personal growth. And I think that's so relevant here.
Totally. Because having a mentor or a network of supportive people can make all the difference when you're facing challenges. They can offer guidance, encouragement, and even just a listening ear.
And think about it. Strong communication skills are essential for building those meaningful relationships with mentors and expanding your network. So once again, we see how these core skills are all interconnected.
Okay, I'm seeing the bigger picture now. It's like this beautiful web of personal development where all these different skills and strategies work together to create a stronger, more resilient you. But wait, there's more. The source also dives into this thing called the SMART goal setting method. And I've heard about this before, but I'm always up for a refresher. What's the deal with SMART goals and why are they so important?
Well, the SMART method is like a secret formula for setting goals that you actually achieve. It's about making your goals specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
Oh, I remember that acronym. But honestly, sometimes I just glaze over when I hear it. Can you break it down for me? Like, why is each of those elements so important?
Absolutely. Let's start with specific. Think of it like using your GPS. If you just type in go somewhere nice, it's not going to get you very far. You need a specific destination in mind.
Right. So instead of just saying, I want to be more confident, a SMART goal would be more like, I want to be able to speak up in meetings without feeling anxious.
Exactly. And that specificity makes it much easier to create a plan of action.
Okay, that makes sense. What about measurable? Why is that so important?
Well, if you can't measure your progress, how do you know if you're actually moving forward? It's like trying to lose weight without a scale.
You're just guessing.
Ah.
And probably getting discouraged because you can't see those small wins along the way.
Right. So a measurable goal would be something like, I want to attend 3 networking events this month, or I want to practice public speaking for 30 minutes twice a week.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this all fits together. So specific and measurable help you get clear on what you want and how you'll track your progress. What about achievable? I feel like that's a crucial one.
It is, because setting unrealistic goals is a recipe for disappointment and burnout. It's like trying to run a marathon without any training. You're setting yourself up for failure.
Ouch, yeah. I've definitely been there. So achievable means starting with something challenging.
But
Within reach, right?
exactly. It's about breaking down those big, audacious goals
Right.
into smaller, more manageable steps. So maybe your ultimate goal is to give a TED Talk. But your achievable goal for this month is to join a Toastmasters group and practice your speaking skills in a safe and supportive environment.
Love that. Okay, what about relevant? Why is that so important?
Well, a relevant goal is one that aligns with your values and your overall vision for your life. It's about making sure your goals are actually meaningful to you. Otherwise, you're likely to lose motivation along the way.
So it's not just about achieving any goal, it's about choosing goals that will truly contribute to your happiness and fulfillment.
Exactly. If your goal feels like a chore or something you should be doing, it's probably not a relevant goal for you.
And finally, time-bound. I feel like this one is pretty self-explanatory, right? Deadlines help us stay focused and actually get things done.
Exactly. A time-bound goal creates a sense of urgency and accountability. It's like having a launch date for a project. It keeps you motivated and prevents procrastination.
So instead of just saying, I want to write a book, a SMART goal would be more like, I want to finish the first draft of my book by the end of the year.
Exactly. That deadline gives you
Yeah.
something concrete to work towards
Yeah.
and helps you break down the writing process into smaller, more manageable chunks.
Okay, I'm feeling way more confident about setting SMART goals now. But let's be real for a second. Even with the best laid plans, life happens. We're going to face obstacles, challenges, and maybe even some epic fails along the way. How does this source address those inevitable bumps in the road?
Well, it really emphasizes the importance of developing resilience and coping mechanisms. Because, let's face it, stress is a part of life.
Ugh, tell me about it. My inbox alone gives me anxiety some days, but seriously, how can we get better at managing stress so it doesn't completely derail our personal growth journey?
Well, the source dives into some practical techniques like mindfulness and deep breathing exercises. These practices can be incredibly helpful in those moments. when you feel overwhelmed or anxious.
You know, I used to be skeptical about that stuff, but I've actually started incorporating some mindfulness techniques into my daily routine, and it's made a huge difference. It's like hitting the pause button on my stress response and giving myself a moment to reset.
That's fantastic. And that's the beauty of personal development. It's about experimenting and finding what works best for you. The source also talks about the importance of emotional intelligence.
Oh, that's a good one. Because sometimes I feel like my emotions get the best of me, and I react in ways that I later regret.
Emotional intelligence is about becoming more aware of your emotions and how they impact your thoughts and behaviors. It's about learning to manage your emotions effectively so they don't control you.
So it's like instead of letting your anger lead you to say something hurtful, you take a step back, acknowledge your feelings, and then respond in a more calm and constructive way.
Exactly. And developing emotional intelligence can also help you build stronger relationships, navigate conflict effectively, and even improve your leadership skills.
Wow, I'm seeing how all these different aspects of personal development are interconnected. It's like a holistic puzzle where each piece contributes to the overall picture of well-being and fulfillment. But you know, sometimes I struggle with that whole be positive thing. Like, I get that. A positive attitude is important. But what about those days when I just feel stuck or discouraged? What does the source say about overcoming those negative thoughts and self-doubt?
Well, the source dives into the importance of cultivating a growth mindset.
The growth mindset. I've heard about that. What's the big deal with it?
Think of it as the foundation for all personal development. It's about believing in your ability to learn and grow, even when things get tough. It's about seeing challenges as opportunities and setbacks as temporary, not permanent roadblocks.
So instead of thinking, I'm just not good at this, you think, I'm not good at this yet, but I can learn and improve.
Exactly. It's about embracing that, yet it's about understanding that your abilities aren't fixed. You have the power to develop and evolve.
That's so empowering. I love that. And the source mentioned something about self-affirmations being helpful for cultivating a growth mindset. Can you elaborate on that?
Absolutely. Self-affirmations are basically positive statements that you repeat to yourself to challenge negative thoughts and reinforce positive beliefs.
So instead of beating yourself up with that inner critic, you're giving yourself pep talks.
Exactly. It's about replacing those self-defeating thoughts with empowering ones. For example, if you're struggling with self-doubt, you might repeat affirmations like, I am capable, or I am worthy of success.
And doing that consistently can actually rewire your brain to think more positively.
It's like training your mind to focus on the positive and believe in your potential. And you know what's really cool? The source also emphasizes how personal growth can translate into professional success. It's not just about feeling better, it's about achieving your career goals too.
So it's like leveling up in the game of life. And the game of work.
Exactly. It's about investing in skills and knowledge. That will not only enhance your personal life, but also make you more valuable in the workplace.
That makes total sense. And there are so many ways to do that, right? Online courses, workshops, industry conferences, mentorship programs, the list goes on.
And the key is to be strategic about it. Think about your long-term career aspirations and identify the skills and knowledge gaps that you need to fill.
So instead of just randomly taking courses, you're intentionally choosing opportunities for growth that align with your specific career goals.
Exactly. It's about creating a synergy between personal and professional development, where each feeds into the other.
I love that idea. It's like creating a life where your work and your personal growth are intertwined and mutually supportive.
And when you approach personal development with that kind of intentionality, it can be incredibly powerful. It can help you achieve things you never thought possible, both in your personal and professional life.
Okay, I'm feeling super inspired right now. This deep dive has been packed with actionable insights. I feel like I have a whole new toolkit for personal growth.
And the best part is that it doesn't have to be overwhelming. Start small. Choose one thing from this deep dive that resonated with you and commit to taking action on it today.
Yes to that. Even a small step in the right direction can make a huge difference over time.
Absolutely. Remember, personal growth is a journey, not a destination. It's about continuous learning, evolution, and becoming the best version of yourself.
So to our amazing listener out there, we challenge you to take that first step today, whether it's setting a SMART goal, practicing mindfulness, or simply shifting your mindset. Embrace the power of personal growth and watch your life transform.
And remember, we're all on this journey together. Keep learning, keep growing, and never stop believing.